Guys, welcome to DevBees, and today we'll be doing a tutorial session. So I'm gonna take a WhatsApp chat screen tutorial. So hope you guys enjoy it. And this time I'm doing an updated version, that is from the time-lapse video. I've updated a bit. So that's what I'm gonna do. So let's get started. So as you can see, this is my screen, my Android Studio screen, and this is the starting project. So how I did it was that you have to go to File, then when you open Android Studio from start, it will just show like a pop-up box, and it's like you need to start a project, start an Android project or start a Flutter project, etc. So you just have to click start a Flutter project. Here I'm just going to go the same way, but here I'm going to take from the menu bar, that is File and New Flutter. So if I give New Flutter project, it is going to ask me what I want. So I'll just click the default as Flutter application and click on next, or you can hit enter to go next. So next, you can give some name for your app, and be sure that you can only add small letters and underscores. If you write some capital letter like here, it's going to show this error, that is invalid project name, and it must be valid with lowercase with underscore. So I'm just going to give something. I'm not going to create a project as I've already created one. So this is how you're going to start it. So then click on next. It will show you the package name. So if this is the main the common format of package name, here usually you will get an example like com.example.flutter app, but since I've given my instead of example, I've given my email name, username, so it's DevBees. So that's why it has come like this. So then if you click finish, you will get the project, but here I have already created one, so I'm not going to do that. So let's get started. So I'm just gonna cancel this. So this is the this is what you get after you hit the finish button. So you have like this starting project. So you can choose your emulator of your choice. Here I have Flutter 2.0, that's why it's supporting the web also. So I'm just gonna hit on let's say 3A pixel 3A and see how it comes. Okay, here's my pixel 3A. As you can see, I'll just maximize the screen. You can see here this is thing called SDK Gphone x86 mobile. So that's basically my emulator getting connected to the Android Studio. So I can just hit on whatever commands and all, and I can run it. So let's get started. And here I'm not gonna, this is actually a standalone application, and I'm not gonna do it like that. I'll be using the material UI. So first I have to just turn on my phone. So I'm just gonna hit the power button. Now it's on, and I'm just gonna remove all this stuff from here, and I'm gonna do it our WhatsApp way, WhatsApp clone way actually. So I'm just gonna delete all of this. Sorry. You can click on that number on the side and you can just hit delete. And if you see this there is some kind of a minus, and if you click this, it's gonna shrink the code. It's gonna compress it. So you can just click on the number and you can delete, and voila, it's gone. Don't worry about these errors, we are going to fix that. So fix that. The issue is with the My App, that is it's standalone application that they have given us as example. So we just have to delete this. Just click this and just hit delete. It's going to show you if you are sure to delete, just hit delete. just hitting delete, and you can see a lot of errors is gone. So here I'll be just using, now we are gonna give the material app here. So just type run app material app, just gonna come up when you just type. So here it is, material app. Just hit enter and you'll get the material app. So material app is like a function, so we need to give it as a function. So two brackets, and just hit Control S for saving, and it will reformat the code as well. So now we need to update our PubSpec YAML. So before that I need to create an this folder called images, so as to store my images of the profile pics and all the stuff. So you need to right click on Flutter, that is the main this first thing here. So just right click on it and you'll hit on new and you'll click on directory. So this directory is like a folder which holds the stuff. So I'm gonna type images as the folder name, hit enter. So currently my images is it's empty, so we are gonna fill it with stuff. So I'm just gonna open another file, and I'm gonna copy paste from the original the one I made during the time lapse. So I'm just gonna copy that. So let's just say I want to see this. Wait, that's not. I'm gonna right click on the images and show in Explorer. So it's gonna show us in Explorer, and here I have the WhatsApp clone, so images. So there are so many images here, so I'm just gonna copy all of them as of now. So Control A and just right clicking and copying. It's not giving copy option. I'm just gonna click on the shortcuts, Control C or Command C if you're on a Mac, and then I'm gonna paste it here. After selecting the images, you just have to press paste or Control V. It's gonna show copy specified files. Just click on OK, and you will have all the files you want from that. And just okay, I don't want this anymore. Now we need to configure our file, that is we need to include the images in our app. So go to PubSpec YAML, and I'm just gonna hide this, and you can see here this assets here. So I'm just gonna uncomment it. So just hit Control and / you can uncomment anything. So, and as this is a YAML file, the spacing is really important. So I'm just gonna give it a better way of spacing. So here I want to use a lot of images. So if I'm gonna type like this, like images / a dot etc, I will have to type a lot. So I'm just gonna give like, I don't want this. So what it does is it's gonna take all the files under images folder. So that's easy, pretty easy. After you have changed anything in this YAML file, you need to hit on pub-get, so it gets connected. And if you get the exit code 0, then you're ready to go. If you get any other, you need to check the spacing and all, etc. So here we get the just hit on get dependencies again, it will just go. See, so now I'm gonna create a new file. Let's say I need a file called, I need a dart file which is called, I'm just gonna call it chat screen. So in this chat screen, I'm just gonna hit import the packages, that is a material UI. So you need to import Flutter's material UI package. So just write import and if you type M itself, it's gonna come like Flutter material dot. So that's what we need here. So just hit material dot and enter, and it will just come. I'll just hide this thing so you can see. And now just type in stateful or stateless widget. So I'm just going to use stateful here. So if you just type S, it's going to come and show the small letters, I mean the shortcut words actually. So I'm just going to click on stateful and just hit enter. So it's going to build the skeletal code for me. I'm gonna name it chat screen. Now I will be doing a container. Instead of container, I'm gonna give a scaffold. So it's like what do you say, a canvas. So now that I have my canvas, I'm gonna give it inside my main dot. So inside material app, this has a property called home. So instead of home, I'll give I have to go from screen to screen, so I'll be giving initial root navigation. So you just have to give root, initial root. So the initial root would be let's say we need to give a string for this. So it's like an ID card. You are known by your name. So this class is known by its name. So it's like that. You have to give it inside the stateful widget. So to give it a static and constant and final. It's not gonna change. So final string name. I think it's not final. It's just static and constant. Yeah. I'm gonna give chat screen. Oh, I'll just give, instead of name, I'll just give ID. So it's like ID of that screen. So I'm gonna give here ID, that is chat screen. Chat screen dot ID. So as you can see, it auto imported the chat screen UI, I mean the class, and then I'll have to give the rest of the routes but before that I need to create all the screens so that I can go from one screen to another and then next. So I'll be doing that for now. So I'll just go here, do the entire process again. Okay, that's done, and now we'll be focusing on the chat screen as that's our topic for today. So we need to call all the screens in this material app, that is, building the map of navigation. So we'll give roots, and it's gonna be a dictionary. It's like a map value. So each screen has a root. Sorry, status screen.id. So it's gonna check for that, and if it is true, then it's gonna return status screen. Sorry, it's a map value, so I have to give like that. So if the case is, so what it does here is, if it checks for status screen ID, if it is the status screen ID that is coming up, it will change the current context to status screen, that is the status screen UI. So similarly for call screen also, oh, I forgot to keep that. Okay, I have one more screen, so I'm just gonna give this also here, so it goes there whenever I want to. Okay, we have a screen navigation done. Now we need to build our chat screen. Main dot that I'm going to do one more thing, that is, I have to give the debug checkboard banner, so it doesn't show that debug banner there. So I'm just going to give it as false, and then in the chat screen we are going to build our UI. So first we need the app bar. So app bar, and we need to define our title, etc. So color and all. So I'm just going to give, we'll just run the app. It's so much boring, right? I'm talking and talking and talking, but we're not running the app. So let's just run it. So in the app bar, I'll just minimize this a bit so we can see the screen, the phone. And in this, I'll be adding an automatically imply leading. These are the properties of the widget. These app bar, etc. are properties. What is this? I'm getting some error. Saying I didn't import some stuff. Why did I import this? I'll just load. Now running that again. Oh, this thing. I'll just give false. And just run again. It's going back. Hopefully it comes this time at least. I think it's working, I guess. Okay, so it's built, that's why it's coming like this, build app, etc, etc. So what we're gonna get, let's see what's come. See, now we have an app bar, so let's get building. So after that I need to change the color. It's not this blue color, it's more like a greenish color, so let's make it that. So color, this is like hex color, so it's like 0xff stands for hex, you know, the hashtag of hex. So that in Flutter is done the 0xff, like, you know, some kind of let's see. Let's just hit Ctrl S. See, now we have more like a WhatsApp app bar. Now I'm going to give a title. So the title is going to be a text which says WhatsApp. Color. Wait, we need to give the style. Just text style. Color is white. Let's see how it looks. It's pretty good. Let's give next what shall we give next? The icons, yeah, the action buttons we have, so we'll give the action buttons. So it's a list of action buttons, so it's an icon button I'm gonna give. So first icon would be search icon. So icon is the class and icons.search. On pressed, I don't want on pressed right now, as now I'm just dealing with the UI. I'll give a color and size for the icon. So color is white. Let's see how it looks. So 2 colors. I'm just gonna give a size also. Let's say, what shall we give as the size of the icon? Let's say some 26. Pretty good, I guess. See how it looks. Doesn't have much change, I guess. Let's give our next icon. So another icon button, and this time we are going to give a Cupertino icon. So Cupertino icons dot vertical ellipsis. So it's going to give, yeah, it's ellipsis vertical, sorry. And as before, no on pressed. As now, here I'm going to give color of white. And this icons and Cupertino icons have different default sizes, so I'm just going to give a smaller size for this. So I'll give the size as 26 and the above as 27 or something. Would be better, I guess. Let's give 27. instead of 26 it gave 28 or something. See how it looks better now. So now we have our ad bar, but something is missing, right? Like you need that, you know, chats, status, and that navigation bar also. So let's add that. So after this, we are going to exit from the actions and we're going to give it bottom. So this bottom is also, you know, to increase the size of the app bar and all. So I'm just going to give an app bar again, and same properties like color and let's say color, and let's say what is the color. What was the color I used? What's the color I used? Oh yeah, here it is. I'm just gonna copy paste it. Okay, now we have the color. Now I'll just give the automatically imply leading as false. I don't want it to be like, you know, otherwise it's gonna show a back arrow always. I don't want that back arrow in the WhatsApp home screen. Then what we have? Let's see what else we have. Let's just see how it looks first. See, its height has increased a bit. So next what we need to do is add leading icon. So leading icon is inside a container. I'm going to give it inside a container so I can, you know, have more control over the UI. So I'm just going to give a container. The first icon in app bar is a camera icon. So let's see, child is icon with camera all rounded, that's the name, and the color is white with some opacity. I'll give 50% opaque. That should do the trick. See, we have a camera. And next what we have to do, we need to set the size of the camera. I guess it's too small, so I'll give a size of 28 for this also. Now it looks better. Okay, so next what we have to do, we have to give the actions. So all the navigations are going to come under actions. So first, as I have told earlier, I'll be doing this inside containers so I get more control. So inside container, I'm going to define the width also. So I'll give width of, let's say, 150, and I'm going to give a decoration property because, you know, the white line and all that coming under, which was not there in the Flutter time-lapse. Hope you guys remember that. If not, just watch it. You can see that I haven't given the white line in that. So inside box decoration, I'm going to give the, you know, border. So border is border bottom and the bottom border, because this is the chat screen. So the bottom border with border side, inside border side we are going to give the color and width, etc. So color I want white, and I need the width as 5. Yeah, that's enough, I guess. See how it looks. Yeah, it's the first one. We'll give more stuff so that it comes first. Now what else should we do? We should add a child to this container. So the child is column. I'm gonna give it inside a column. So with the main and cross axis element as center. So where is it? Here it is. And the cross axis alignment too at center. Now we'll give the children. So it's basically a single child here, but you know the property name is children, so I'm calling it children. So we'll give a text that says guest as chats, and we'll give a color and style. This color, size and etc. all comes under style property of our text. So style, we'll give we'll give a text style. That's what it's gonna take in. So inside text style we have color white. Then what? It's too small, so let's make it a bit bigger. And also this is inside a gesture detector. Oops. So when I tap it, it's gonna go there in that screen. We'll just leave the on tab here as nothing. Just leave it as such, as it's the home screen. Then let's see, I'm gonna give a padding for this text, so it's more organized. Not there, here. Okay, now I'll give size as 18, I guess. I didn't do good, I guess. Yeah, it looks better now, don't you think? Okay, so now we have our first child and first navigation button. We are gonna copy this whole thing and paste it. So we get the remaining buttons. Okay, but we don't want everything to be looking like that, right? We need different stuff there. So here I don't want this decoration property. The second one, as well as the last one. Set decoration, click here, delete. Control S, and that bottom underline is gone from there. Now to change the text. So where's the text? We don't want chats here, we want status here. Again, we don't want chats here, we want calls here. If you hit save, this hot reload. Oh, I changed the order, I guess. Sorry. Now it's better. So guys, we have made our app bar completed. Now what we have to do is build our body. So before we build our body, we need to add our data. That is what I have done earlier for the images. Why I did the images. So I need to add that. I'll be adding this here outside the class. So I'll be giving it in this order. So please note down that the order. So that's how I'm gonna call this, this dictionary of lists. Okay, so the first is gonna the variable name. So I'm going to give var chart is equal to a dictionary. Oh, sorry. So it's a dictionary. So the order is like this. First it's the name, second it's the TPO, the profile pic. Then next comes the message, the last message, then the time that the message was sent. So this is our order. So I'm gonna give it that like that. Okay. complete. So now we have our, the data. Now we can build our body. So, and for the record, you can use images, like you can use images from the net web, and I got my images from Flat Icon. So I'll just show you. Here I'll just type Flat Icon, and you can see Flat Icon comes up. So this is a place where you can get a lot of icons. You just have to search for some icons. So I'm just going to type user, and it's going to show a lot of icons. See, there's a photo. You can select any of any of the icons you want. You can choose your images, your own images for the profile pics, so etc. So I'll just give the link in the description, so you guys use it and do tell me your experience. So coming to the body, let's see, where does this end? Here. So after app bar, we're going to give the body. So in the body we are going to give a list view builder. We'll give list view dot separate. So we have separator body and the builder function. It's like the separator separates the whatever is in the list contents. So let's start with it. So list view builder, and first we need to give item builder. So the format is, we have to give here context and index. So it's gonna give an index list. So this list view builder is used in case where you don't know the list length or how many number of contents or elements are there in the list. So thank you. This context, and inside that item builder you have to give a widget as the return type. So you have to give a widget. So here I'm just gonna keep in the separator builder also context comma index, and just give what chat is the map. So I'm going to give the length of it. So chat dot length. So it will go till that. So as I increase the entries of chat, the length will be adjusted as such. So here I need to give a return type. So for now I'm just going to give a divider as the separator, but later I'll be giving some other customized class there. Similar is the case with the index, the main item builder. So here I'll be giving return, and I'll just give a container for now. So it doesn't bring any errors. So I'm just gonna hit Ctrl S, and as you can see we have some these small lines. I hope you can see it. Never mind, I'll make it visible. Coming up, we are going to build our UI, so then it will be more visible. So next what we have to do is we need to give a floating action button. So it's gonna hover above it and just give so I'll just give a floating action button. Now we are going to add the floating action button, which was also not there in the time lapse. So let's see how it's done. So before body, we're gonna add the property floating action button. So that's a property of the scaffold itself. Then we'll add, our our specified customized floating action button. So we are going to give it inside a container so that we get more control. So we are going to give a container. So inside the container we are going to specify the width and height. So it's like width around 70, so it's basically the diameter of the floating action button. So yeah, width 70 and height 70. Now I'm going to give a fitted box in as the child of container. So inside container I'm going to give a fitted box, and this fitted box has the child, which is our floating action button. You just have to type FAB in caps and you get the floating action button as the pop-up in the menu. And we can give our customized floating action button, so color, etc. So I'm just gonna give background color of color 0xFF for the hex color, hex code, D3 and 66. So I've got all these colors from the net. I've researched some of the UI colors used in WhatsApp, and I got the code from there. So that's what I'm using here also. So the floating action button, it requires an on press property. So I'm just gonna give it as null. It's actually a compulsory property for that. So if I don't give, it's gonna show me an error and warning and all. So for that not to happen, I'm gonna give it. Then what we have, the child of the floating action button, which is an icon. So our icon is an icons.message. Icons.message. Hope it builds. Let's see how it looks. Control S, and you can see that our floating action button is here. So let's build the remaining of the parts. So here we have just given it as a simple container and a simple divider. So if I don't give anything here, it's gonna show an error. So that's why I just give a container and a divider as just default widgets. So after that I'm gonna predefine those classes, customize it. So now I'm going to use a stateless widget, as I'm not going to do much of an operation to change the state of the change the screen. So I'm just going to give stateless, and I'll just name chat tile. So basically means the chat what you see in the display. So instead of this container here, that is inside the list, if you hover like this at the edge, you can see it's like shows that point, and if you click there, you are going to go there. So I just want to go a bit top, not too much. So I'm just gonna click here, and it's gonna go right there. So I'm just gonna show you. So inside this list view separator and item builder, what I need is our chat type. So instead of container, I'm going to give chat type. So that's all, and then we need to build our container. So before that, I need to specify this divider also. So I'll give another class. So in here I'm gonna give a divider class also, so that I get divider as stateless itself. So we'll give horizontal divider, so H divider would be a good name, I guess. So H divider. So that's not gonna be a container but a divider. And inside divider I'm going to specify the thickness. I'm going to specify 75%, not 100% thick, 0.75 pixels thick. Then we need to give an end indent and a starting indent. So end indent is 10 and indent is 60. So what it's gonna do is gonna leave some space from the edges. So end indent, it's gonna leave space from the end, that is the, say, right side of the screen, and whereas indent is gonna leave space from the left side of the screen, that is the starting edge. So we leave 60 and 10 pixels each. So then what, we'll give a color, I guess, or the color I don't have to give, it's already good color, I guess. So I'll just replace the divider with H divider and hit Ctrl S, and as you can see it's, you know, coming up. I'll specify the color also. I specified it as a gray, so the color as gray. Dot shade, say 500. It's too dark. 300. Okay, much better, I guess. So now we need to build our chat tags. So let's get started. So what should we have first? We need to have a row. Before that we need to declare the variable. So final name, so final string name, these are the data members. So we have to point this to the chat dictionary list items actually. Final string image, final last message, and final time. So I'm gonna make a constructor for this, chat tile, and I'm gonna point to this dot name. We'll give it in the order of that list itself. So this dot name, this dot image, this dot last message, and this dot time. Then conclude the constructor with the semicolon, and you have the error removed. Now I'm gonna give chat tile here inside the list view. I'm gonna point it to the values that we need. So here I'm gonna give name as, I'm gonna give the dictionary value. So chat dot values, it's like key value pair. So I'm gonna get the values of it. So the values are a list, like, a list of lists. So it's like first value is a list, second value is another list, etc. So now I have to choose the first list here. So this index, this item builder context index, so this index is basically going from 0 to the last number -1. So that is, last number is chat.length, and -1 means whatever, if there are 5 elements, the index would go from 0 to 4. So likewise it's gonna go from 0 to, I don't know how many did we type, I guess, I think 8. So it's gonna go from 0 to 7. So I'll just give values. So values, it's a list. So that list I need the element. So element at index. So element at the 0th list, the first list, and in that list there is another set of elements. So in that I need the first element, so it's denoted by 0. So likewise for image, last message and time. So I'm just gonna copy paste this so it's easier for me. And do the necessary changes. That's how I do. And now inside this we are going to build our the chat tile, what is in between these divider lines. So first of all we need to put a navigator, we need to put a the gesture detector here. So right click, show context action, and wrap with widget gesture detector. I'm not gonna do anything right now because I'll be building it later and you will see what I'm intending to do here. So inside the container, what we have to do, let's see. So it's not a container but it's a row. Give it as a row with some padding. I hope. Should I give padding? Let's figure it out. That would be better, I guess. So inside row I'll be giving main axis as space between. Again I have a row. Inside that I have children. Oh, actually I don't want this first row, I guess. Let's see how it goes. So the children, so if image is, that is, image is not a null. We have, everyone doesn't have a profile pic, they don't use their own photos, so it could be a null. So in that case we are going to use a ternary operator to determine the image that we have to see. So first case we have a padding, inside which we have padding property which takes in an edge inset. So I'm going to give a padding of 8. So it's going to give padding all around it. Then for that a child circle avatar, radius 25, and background image as asset image. So asset image is what we used to get the images in the in the project. So there are a lot of image providers. So here we are using a set image and it's gonna get our image, which is the string that we have given in the chat list. So background image, and what if it's not? So if it's not, we are going to give another padding. With the same edge insets. And we are going to give an icon instead. So the icon that I'm going to give is an account icons dot account circle. Yeah, that's what I want. I'll give a size of 55 and shade of gray, color of gray, with the shade of 500 here. We guess 500 would look good here, so I'm using that. Let's see how it looks. I guess images, oh, it's not images.boy.png, it's images slash, so I need to get to that, I guess. Where is it? So if it's not getting an image, it's gonna show like this blue circle only, because that's the default color of circle avatar. So let's correct that. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. So I need to reload, I guess. Hot restart, so it just starts from the, yeah, now it's come good. So you can see you need to fill in the rest of the things. So after this I'll give, sorry, not the divider, we'll just shorten this so it doesn't interfere with us. Then we have a sized box. So it's basically for spacing purposes. We use the size box. Width of 10. Then we are going to keep the text all inside a container so we can manage, control the width and height and other properties like color, etc. So container with width. So here I'm going to use media query. So it's kind of a responsive width. So it's going to take the width, size, the width. So this statement is basically for the entire width of the screen. So the width of the screen is media query dot of context dot size dot width. So if I give it as a percentage of the width, I can give it as like into 60%. For instance, if I give it as 60% of the whole screen width, I can give it like into 0.6. So it's gonna take 0.6% of the screen, I mean 60% of the screen width. So it's kind of responsive UI. Then I'll give a child, which is a column, and the column has a cross-axis alignment of start. And we'll give the children. First child is a text. So the first text is a name. So let's give the name property that we have given from the chat list to here. So if it is going beyond our container size, then we can give it an overflow property, that is text overflow, so that it goes to 3 dots, it ends as an ellipsis. Overflow. So if I hit save right now, it's gonna come. See, you can see the name, but the font size is small, so we need to fix that. So we'll give the style property. So let's give the size as 19. It should look bigger. Yeah, better I guess. You can adjust to your convenience. I'm just giving it random numbers and all. Then I'll give a size box. Sorry. with the height property this time, so I have a small spacing between the text and the name and the message. So we give again the text, which is our last message, and this time also we give the overflow property. And we'll give the style. See how it comes. See, now we have our name, our the message, and it's kind of ending after reaching the point where it's 60% of the width, so it's more uniform. See, it's like it's all stopping at this point. After that, we'll give padding. We are going out of the container. I'm gonna give a padding. So next is the time. Let's say time, and we'll provide the style property. If this works. So that's all for our UI. So I guess our UI is complete. See, it all came so perfectly. So hope you guys had a wonderful time building it with me, and do like and subscribe to our channel, and I've put all the links in the description below. So hope you guys would watch the second part, because it's coming soon. That is a status screen, and we'll be doing the tutorials in in a fast pace, I guess, according to what time I get. So that's all for today, and have a great day. Thank you.